Listen closely to these words I give you now. They are not random words, not human ideas, and not just empty talk. This message is meant only for you, different from anything you have heard before. It is alive. It is a word straight from my heart into yours. Nothing that is happening is by chance. This very moment is part of the perfect plan I have for your life. You did not come here by accident. You did not pause to listen because of curiosity. It was I who pulled you with cords of love, who touched your heart so you would notice. What you are about to hear has the power to change the path of your life. Something deeper than what you can see with your eyes is already moving. There is an unseen but active work already taking place. A season of change is opening. This is not a small or short change, but a complete change that will reach the hidden parts of your heart. You are now stepping into a stage where the cover is being lifted, where what seemed uncertain becomes clear, where confusion fades, and the way you waited for so long starts to show itself. But you must know something important. If you do not take this call to heart, if you treat this word as just another, you may miss an important turning point I placed before you. This word does not only give you hope, it also warns you, because many times I spoke and you did not listen. But today I speak with strong love. Listen with care. Listen with holy respect. What you are receiving now is not ordinary. It will not be repeated. It is a call from heaven filled with eternal meaning. Your life is not about to change, it is already in change. You are not waiting for the time. You are standing in the time. Even if you do not fully see it, something has already started. The waiting time is closing. You have been sitting at the edge of the road for too long, watching others move on, asking me quietly when your turn would come. Today I tell you clearly, you are already moving, you are already entering. I myself have begun to set things in motion that will guide you toward the fulfillment of my promise over your life. Nothing hath been still, even if you thought it was. I have been at work, even when everything around you looked frozen. I know every detail of what you have faced. I have heard each one of your quiet prayers. I have seen the strength you tried to hold on to when everything seemed to collapse around you. I know the tears you cried in secret, the ones no one else noticed, and the moments when your pain spoke louder than your hope. I never left you, not even for a single moment. Even when you felt I was silent, I was working behind the scenes. Every battle has carried meaning. Every step of the hard process hath been part of shaping you. I was molding your heart, building your inner strength, and drawing you away from distraction so I could speak to you now. But listen carefully, my dear one. Not everyone will grasp this word. Some will hear it, but they will not accept it. Their hearts will remain closed, and they will miss what I am doing in the unseen places. This message is only for those with open ears and ready hearts, for those who can recognize my voice among the noise. If as you hear this, your heart is stirred, if something within you shakes, if a deep certainty tells you, this is mine, then it truly is. Do not argue with it, do not doubt it. I, the Lord, am speaking with you now. My spirit is touching your spirit, and if you are willing, you will stay close to me. If not, your soul may resist and turn aside. But if you choose to remain, if you receive this word with humility and care, I promise your inner life will not stay the same, because I am here, I am present, and where I am there is change, there is guidance, there is purpose, there is power. That is why you must hold on. Do not treat this lightly, do not turn away, do not let it pass like any other word. Pay attention. This may be the final time you hear it in this way. I will not speak the same words to you again, not because I grow weary of you, but because every word I give has its own moment and its own season, and this season carries urgency. If you do not take hold of what I am offering you today, You may lose a vital part of the path I have already set before you. The choice is still yours. You still have time, but do not turn away from my voice. Today I tell you it is complete. The season of darkness, doubt, struggle, and silence has come to an end. What once seemed unshakable has already been settled in the heavens. A new season has been declared for you from above. Do not wait to see first before you believe. Believe now, and then you will see it fulfilled. Do not depend on what your eyes can see in the natural. Hold on to my living word, the word I give you today with great love. Nothing will remain the same if you choose to believe. Everything has already begun. All that needed to die has died. All that needed to end has ended. I want you to listen with a heart wide open. Push aside every distraction. Quiet the noise around you and silence the voices within that speak fear or doubt. I am speaking straight to you, not with signs, not through others, but with my own voice deep inside your spirit. This word is not like the rest. It cannot be taken as something casual. This moment is unique because you yourself are unique. You were created with an eternal plan, and now is the time for you to see what was always reserved for this very season. This is the moment when I come close with clarity. These are not just phrases for comfort. This is a direct word I release now, and its time is now. It is not a simple idea to keep in your mind. It is not only a nice thought to ease you for a while. It is a divine order, a living and strong word sent from my throne to break into your normal life and bring you into the light of a new spiritual reality. Right now, something fresh is being formed. You may not see it all yet, but you will feel it. You have already sensed it without knowing what it was. That stirring inside you, that restlessness in your soul, it has always been me. I have spoken a message not given to others in this way, not through dreams nor through messengers. This is direct, clear, and needed. It is a word spoken to you alone, because you have a place in my heart that no one else can fill. This word is not for all, it is for you. This message is not for those who choose comfort in their indifference, nor for those lost in the noise of the world. It is for the ones who feel the weight of urgency, the ones who were called quietly, the ones who cannot be satisfied with shallow things. You are one of them. Do you recall that constant stirring within you? That unease you could not explain, that deep sigh that rose from your soul for no clear reason? It was my spirit reaching into your inner being, waking you, hinting that something greater was coming, even when you could not name it. It felt as if the world was shifting around you, as if you were being drawn to another place, another season, another purpose. None of it was by chance. I was pulling you closer with intent. My plan is exact, and you are central to it. That inner push you felt, that quiet assurance of something holy forming, it was always me. I was the one who came into your thoughts in the still hours. I was the one who whispered into your heart when no one else could. I was the one at your side in loneliness, even when you were unaware you needed someone there. Now I speak without veil. I call you to step forward, to put aside fear, delay, and the thought of another time. The moment is now. I am lifting up those who choose to walk with me, not those who drift along with the flow of the world. I am shaping firm hearts, strong spirits, feet ready to follow even when the road is unclear. You were created for more. You always were. Before your days began, I knew your name and the plan I marked for you. Do not think your past was wasted. Even your errors, even your scars, have been instruments in my hands to mold you, to teach you that without me the path is empty, and only in my will there is true life. That is why I say this is not practice, this is not meaningless preparation, this is reality. I have already set things in motion around you, and nothing can hold them back. Everything is moving now. The way is opening before you. Do not stop because of what you cannot explain. Move forward by what you have believed. This is the exact moment for your obedience. There are times when I choose to speak so clearly that doubt cannot remain. Times when the voice of heaven falls like thunder in the silence of the desert. This is one of those times. I have come to show myself to you in a fresh way, to remove coverings you could not take off, to break patterns that once held you down. For I am making a way, but it is not broad or simple. It is a way of purpose, of surrender, of holiness. It is for those who decide to leave all behind to walk with me. Are you ready to release what you have carried so long? Are you willing to trust even when the steps feel unsure? If you answer yes with truth in your heart, you will see wonders you never thought possible. Then you will step into the reality of everything written for this time. Do not let this pass you by. Do not let routine make you blind. This is a sacred season. My word is direct. I need you now, not later, not one day in the future. Now you have a task in my eternal plan. You are called to pray, to bring freedom, to speak my word, to lift up the weary, to spark fire where there were only ashes. Do not fear your weakness, for my power is strongest in your weakness. Do not focus on your limits, for I am the one who prepares and equips you. What I am doing with you is not only about you, it is about what I choose to do through you. I am guarding you every step, every breath, every thought. I am watching, waiting to see if you will embrace what I have placed before you. I do not act out of duty, I act out of love. And this love is what reaches you today, calls you, welcomes you, but also tests you. Because the new cannot be taken in while holding on to the old. You cannot walk in the light while clinging to the dark. You cannot live for the eternal while your heart holds to what fades. This is your time. Do not turn away. Do not look back. Do not ask for more signs. This is your confirmation. This is the sound of my voice telling you with strength, rise and move forward. It is complete. The old is gone. The new has started. You have walked roads that many cannot understand. You have faced seasons where silence felt heavier than any word, where the nights were not just dark but endless. You were not seen. You were not valued. Many times, even you questioned if it all carried meaning. Yet nothing was without purpose. Every step you took, every day that seemed without direction, was carefully watched. Nothing slipped past my sight. You were never abandoned, not even for a moment, though you did not feel it. I was always near, closer than you thought. Even when everything inside told you that you could not keep going, I was the one holding you up so you would not fall completely. In time, I allowed certain losses not to harm you, but to shape you. There were people removed, places you left, doors that stayed closed, chances that looked near and then vanished. All of it was guided by my hand. I made sure nothing stayed in your life that was not tied to what I have planned. What was taken from you is not needed for what is coming. What could not last was never meant to stay. You may not always see the reason for my actions, but if you look back, you will see even pain serve as guidance. I was pulling you with unseen threads to a precise place. And now you stand here. You have reached the crossing where one season ends and another, completely new, begins. It is natural you feel something inside you is fading, because it is. Parts of your old self cannot walk into this future. Old ways of thought, old fears, old beliefs that held you back, old habits that no longer belong to what I am building now. What was safe, what was familiar, what gave comfort, is being removed. This is not anger, it is renewal. I am shaping you again from the inside out. The old walls must break so that the new house can rise. Though it hurts to watch parts of yourself you once held close fall away, It is because I am making space for what must truly take root. I am not here to preserve what is shallow. I am building something lasting deep within you. This is the place where many stop, unable to see that loss is often a hidden invitation. Many cling to what has already ended, not realizing that my voice speaks even in what looks like ruin. Confusion rises when the soul keeps building on ground I have already set aside. But I have brought you to this point so you may see beyond the surface. Even if the land looks dry, the seed I planted in you is still alive. Even if it appears that all doors have closed, the truth is I shut what could not carry you forward. The cycles that no longer served are over. Nothing I have ended should be started again. Leave what is past in the past. Do not turn back. Do not try to rebuild what no longer belongs to the eternal plan. In this moment I call those who have been shaped in silence, not those who chased applause, but those who stayed hidden as my hand molded them. What cannot be seen in you holds more worth than what can be seen. The strength I formed in quiet will now carry you in open places. The tears you cried alone will now turn into a harvest of great fruit. The secret acts of obedience you gave when no one noticed will now become the strong base on which all new things will be built. You have endured much testing, and though you often thought you would not last, you did. Not by your own power, but by mine working inside you. I was the one who kept everything from falling apart. It was never chance, never accident. It was my hand that held you firm. Every time you whispered, "I cannot go on," I answered, "Yes, you can," and so it was. Now I bring you into a new season, one where you live no longer by survival but by purpose. No longer hiding behind excuses or fears. Those things no longer belong in you, for it is time to reveal, time to walk in courage with what I have already placed within. I am not asking for perfection, I never was. What I ask is a willing heart, and that is what you have shown me. Even though you failed, you came back. Even though you fell, you stood again. Even though you doubted, you did not quit. That persistence, that humility, that silent battle no one else noticed rose before me like a sweet fragrance. These are the things that moved me to speed up my work in you. I have been waiting for this very hour. Heaven has already been shifting. What once felt delayed is now quickening. What once looked blocked is now opening, not because the outer scene has changed, but because you have changed. And that inner shift has set in motion things in the spirit that will now begin to appear around you. The time you thought was wasted has been redeemed. I will bring life to what seemed gone, but not by reviving the old. I will do something completely fresh. You will not go back to the same place. You will not return to the same habits. You will not reconnect with what drained you. What I am building in you now is clean, holy, and different. What began with tears will finish in joy. What began with confusion will finish with clarity. Not because every answer will come, but because your heart will no longer need to know everything to trust. You have entered a sacred season, set apart from the rest. You do not need to announce it. You do not need to prove it. What I do will reveal itself. The results will be seen. And when others ask how it happened, you will know it was not your strength, it was mine. For the old is gone, and the new has already begun. There are times when seasons change without a sign. The sun can hide in a single day. The leaves can fall with no wind. What felt steady can suddenly shake, yet nothing escapes my control. There are processes that do not begin or end with visible marks but unfold deep within the soul, in silence, in hidden places. This is how I am shaping you now. What is moving does not shout but gives a quiet certainty. It is happening in the spirit before being seen in the natural. And even if others do not notice, you know something unseen has already shifted. The atmosphere has changed, not around you first, but inside you. That is where it always begins, not in the outside world, but in the heart. Everything begins in the hidden place of the heart, in the soil where my hands work with the finest care, where my breath shapes again what once seemed broken. That is where I am now. You do not need things around you to shift to know I am moving. The clearest proof that something has started is the peace you cannot explain, the strength you cannot understand how you gained, the boldness that rises without reason, the hope that returns after you thought it had vanished. In this moment I bring clarity not as a thought, but as a line drawn between what must remain and what must end. I am clearing the hidden corners of your soul where heaviness piled up without your notice. I am pulling out old words that cut like thorns, those sharp voices spoken against you, those conclusions you made before you knew who you truly were. I am removing the voices that built you with fear, with comparison, with doubt. I am silencing them forever. They no longer hold power over you. My voice alone defines you, not your mistakes, not your failures, not rejection, not the insecurity that once shouted louder than truth. I am renewing your foundations. What once held your identity will no longer be required. I am laying a new ground that does not shift with winds nor break in storms. It is a foundation shaped through experience, through surrender, through unseen acts of devotion. For I do not need grand stages to lift someone up. I raise in the quiet. I shape in the hidden. In this season you no longer have to strive for approval. You no longer have to force doors to open. You no longer have to prove your value. The value is already within you. I placed it there before your first breath. Nothing you do can add or remove it. Now you will simply lie from that truth. What once felt like weight will be known as training. What once felt like pain will now be seen as protection. I will shift your vision, not by giving new knowledge, but by opening your eyes to see with healed sight. That will be your greatest breakthrough, to see as I see, to think with my thoughts, to walk with the steady certainty that you are aligned with my eternal plan. Your peace will no longer depend on what happens outside. I have been teaching you to live from an inner well that never runs dry, to trust when no signs appear, to keep walking when no path is visible. That is the faith I build, for those who walk with me do not live by sight, but by trust. And you have trusted, even when it seemed unreasonable, even when everything around you cried out for you to stop. I did not push aside your doubts, nor did I reject your questions. Instead, I welcomed them as part of your shaping, because even with them you kept pressing forward. Now it is time to leave behind the remains of what has ended. You do not need to carry what belongs to the past. What has been closed will not reopen. What has finished does not need an explanation. Do not waste your strength searching for meaning in things I have already shut down with my own hand. What you do not yet see clearly will, in time, make sense. But for now, simply trust. Trust that I am the one who opens and shuts, who builds and removes, and everything taken away was taken with intention. There are paths being drawn with accuracy, not by maps, but by direct leading. I am guiding your steps with signs that only you will notice. Others may not understand your choices. They may think you are wandering, losing time, or taking wrong turns. Do not try to explain. Do not try to defend what is not yet revealed. Walk quietly, knowing with certainty that every step has been arranged with purpose, because even if others do not see it, what you have been waiting for has already begun. All that seemed paused has now been set in motion, not by human effort, but by my decree. What was waiting for its appointed hour has reached its time, and you have been placed with care to be part of a work you cannot stop or control, but you can accept. You are standing in the middle of something greater, a story written before your days began. And even if it feels too high or too far for you, know this: It is not too great for the one who holds you, for nothing is beyond my reach. Now everything is aligned for what is about to unfold. It is being tuned like strings before a great song. Every piece of your journey, even the ones you wished had never happened, has been woven into a larger design. What you called failure, I have turned into tools of shaping. Nothing has been wasted. Even your quiet moments have spoken before me. Even your broken times have been gathered gently. I have not come to blame you. I came to uncover before you that what you once thought was the end is truly the beginning of something lasting. I am working in a way that does not depend on a stage, because what is real does not need applause. I am shaping depth, not surface, and this can only be done in those who learn to wait without losing their fire. You will no longer be defined by seasons, no more highs and lows like restless waves. I am setting you in strength, not in feelings but in convictions. I will give you stability that is not tied to emotions, but to your identity in me. A firmness that does not bend with circumstances. What I am forming is eternal. It will not be shaken by voices, nor destroyed by rejection. What is ahead will be carried by the strength I have planted in you. You will not step into the places I send you with anxiety, but with calm. You will not move in fear of falling, but with the confidence that it has already been sealed in heaven before being seen on earth. Pay close attention to these words I now release to you. They are not mere ideas, not human reasoning, nor empty talk. This message reaching you in this hour is personal and unique. It is meant only for you, and is unlike what you have heard before. It is a living word, flowing straight from my heart into yours. Nothing that is happening in your life is random. This exact moment is part of the perfect design I have written over you. You did not come here by accident. You did not pause to hear me only out of curiosity. It was I who pulled you with cords of love, who touched your spirit so you would notice, because what I am giving you now has the power to shift the entire course of your life. Something deeper than what your natural sight can capture is already unfolding. There is an unseen yet active movement already at work. A season of change is beginning. And I am not speaking of a small or passing shift, but of a complete transformation that will reach into the hidden corners of your heart. You are stepping into a stage where the veil is lifting, where what seemed unsure becomes clear, where confusion fades, and the path you long awaited begins to appear. But there is something essential you must grasp. If you do not honor this call, if you treat these words as just another message, you may miss a decisive turning point I have set for you. Today I called out your name, not in whispers, not hidden in soft words or wrapped in poetry. I cried it out with the full weight of my love. I spoke it into the silence of your room, into that corner where you think nobody sees you, where you try to look fine while inside you are breaking apart. I called your name while your soul was shattering quietly, while you forced a smile so others would not worry, while inside you were only holding back tears. I am the one who shaped you before you were born, the one who knows every piece of your heart. I could not watch you carry the burden alone, believing you are abandoned. You thought my silence was distance, but it was not. It was me waiting for the right time to speak clearly, face to face, spirit to spirit. You know why I cried out today. Because your hidden pain became an echo in heaven, because your tears, even the ones you refused to admit, reached me. I called out because my love for you does not end with your doubts, does not shrink with your weakness, does not leave you even when you ignore me. I cried out because you are drowning in struggles that others cannot see, because you tried to be strong for everyone and forgot you also need to be held. I cried out because I saw you hide in that room and whisper into your pillow, too tired even to pray. I cried out because while the world sees you holding everything together, I see how you shake inside, and it broke my heart. I am not far away, I am not cold or careless. I was there when the hard news came, I was there when you did not know how to keep going. I was there when you thought nothing you did mattered, and when you felt there was nothing worth fighting for. I did not only stand by, I wept with you. Not because I am weak, but because my love for you is burning and alive. And while you thought your story was closing, I was writing a new chapter with my own hand. You asked why not sooner? Why not when I needed it most? I was whispering all along through people, through songs, through small moments of light, but today I could not whisper. Today I needed to shout. I shouted in your storm. I shouted because it is urgent, because you are at the edge, because lies have told you there is no way forward. Those are lies, not truth. While despair tried to write your ending, I was preparing your new beginning. But I will not move without your answer. This is not a random moment, not an empty message. This is heaven breaking into your life. This is my voice reaching into your soul. This is my hand stretched out to you. I speak to you now with great urgency because you are nearer to your breakthrough than you realize, yet also closer to giving up than you want to admit. I will not force you to hear me, but I must tell you this moment will not come again in the same way. Stay right here. Take in every word. Do not leave this for later. Do not close this as you have closed so many other messages before. This may be the final time I speak to you with such fire, such intensity. Not because I tire of you, but because you stand at the edge of surrender. If you give up before letting me step in, the pain will cut deeper. But there is still hope. There is still a way. I am still standing at the door, waiting for you to open. Do not keep delaying. Do not turn away once more. If you refuse me now, you may walk in circles without purpose for far too long. And if this word stirs your heart, do not hide it. Answer not only with feelings, but with faith. Speak back, pray, return to me. I remain here with arms wide open, with a voice hoarse from calling your name, with eyes wet with tears of love. Yes, because Jesus wept while calling out to you today. Hear me well, I am not far away, I am not seated on a cold throne beyond your reach. I am right beside you, whispering to your heart, reaching the place no one else can. I am the God who sees every detail, the God who hears even the faintest sigh, the God who remembers all. Today I rise for you with urgency because I have seen you. I saw you in every moment you thought no one was watching. I noticed when you held back words to avoid breaking in front of others, when you hid your tears so your children would not see how weary you were. I watched you when you pushed yourself just to make it through one more day, not even knowing how much more you could bear. And though you believed I was absent, your soul's cry reached the heavens like thunder. Trust me now, for the story I began and you will end in beauty. Do not think I have forgotten your prayers. Do not imagine for a moment that your cries were empty. I did not turn away. I did not choose others and leave you behind. I do not have favorites, but my love for you is deeper than you can measure or count. Every word, every sigh you lifted was kept safe in heaven. Even the prayers made in silence, in the middle of chores, while folding clothes, washing dishes, or caring for someone ill. Even those whispered only in tears or quiet breaths, I heard them all. Not one prayer was lost, not a single one went unheard. You became used to my quiet, believing it meant I was absent, but it was never absence, it was building. I was working in the unseen places of your life, where your eyes could not reach. I was shifting pieces, setting the right moments, guarding your way, shutting doors that would have harmed you, and opening others you never even imagined. What I am shaping is greater than what you expected, deeper than what you hoped for, and more complete than what you thought you deserved. That is why it requires time, because I do not give broken pieces or partial gifts. I bring what is whole, restored, steady, guarded, complete. I give answers that turn into stories of hope, not circles of repeated pain. You believed your effort was invisible, that your strength was wasted, that no one saw you standing firm while others around you were crumbling. But I saw it all. I saw when you closed your door and whispered only, "Help me." I saw when you swallowed your tears to keep others steady. I saw when you loved without being loved back, when you stayed even while feeling left behind. I saw when you forgave without hearing the words "I'm sorry." That is why today I cried out your name, because the season of silence has ended. It is the season of action, of lifting you up, of stepping in. You have felt weak, too sensitive, too tired, and you judged yourself harshly for it. You told yourself, "I should have been stronger. I should not have failed. I should have done more." But now I tell you, as the one who formed you before time, you did not fail. You were stronger than you know, carrying more than you thought you could, enduring storms beyond human strength. If you could see how many people collapse under only half of what you have carried, you would understand why I come close today with strength in my voice and tenderness in my heart to tell you, stop blaming yourself. The moment has arrived for me to move, for me to step in, for me to close the chapter of pain and bring a new season over you. But I ask one thing from you. Listen to the end. Do not push these words aside. Every sentence I place in your heart is a keys that unlock old doors, that heal buried wounds, that release hurts you thought would never be healed. These are keys that break heavy chains, that pull down lies of fear, rejection, and not being enough. These are keys that open a way to the healing you have been longing for, the deep freedom you thought was never possible. That heavy fear in your chest, that worry of losing everything again, that constant dread of things falling apart, I will tear it out today. I am not giving you just a fleeting feeling. I am speaking of true change, reaching from the soul to every part of life. I am reaching into the core of who you are to show you that you are not unseen, not abandoned, not outside my purpose. I am here, Jesus, speaking to you with tears in my eyes, because I wept as I called your name today. I wept because my love for you is endless. I wept because you are at the edge, and I cannot let you fall now when you are so near to promise fulfilled. Stay with me. Keep listening. Take these words in and do not harden your heart, because what is coming is not only speech, it is encounter. And if you dare to believe, if you simply open your heart, you will feel my presence in a way you never have before. I am here. You cannot imagine how deeply it hurt me to see you believe I was far when I was so near. You have walked with a bowed back, carrying loads I never meant for you to carry alone. You have faced days when it felt like everything broke at once: relationships, health, stability, spirit, faith like a storm that swallowed you without giving space to breathe. And yet, you kept moving forward, even when strength was gone, even when comfort never arrived, even when no one stopped to ask if you were all right, even when what once gave you support no longer seemed to hold. Still, you did not let go of everything, not because you felt strong, but often because you simply did not know what else to do. From the very start, I was there. When cracks began to appear, I was already setting in place what you would one day need. You were never drifting. You were never at the mercy of chance or chaos. While you struggled to stand, I was securing the ground beneath your feet so you would not fall into emptiness. Those moments when you felt ready to break completely, it was never your strength alone that kept you. It was me. It was my unseen hand, my quiet breath, my covering shield in battles no one else could see. You do not need to prove yourself. You do not need to carry more weight. It broke my heart to watch you demand more of yourself in times when what you truly needed was rest, comfort, and healing. It hurt to see you press down your own feelings, race your needs so that others could thrive, silence your own voice just to avoid stirring pain. The world never saw that. Many thought you were just distant or cold, but it was not distance, it was exhaustion. It was your soul calling out for rest. It was your spirit whispering in the dark, "Where are you? I don't know how much longer I can bear this." And I never abandoned you. I never stayed quiet because I did not care, but because there are blessings that need time before they can be given. Promises that cannot grow under strain, but only in peace. Answers that cannot be rushed, but must come when they can be carried without breaking you. What I was forming for you could not be shallow or temporary. It had to be lasting and deep. Quick solutions fall apart with the first storm. What is built in a hurry does not stand through fire. But what is shaped in secret, in silence, in the hidden places, that endures. Do you see how many times you gave everything without being seen? How often you loved, served, poured out your heart, your strength, your care, and were met with nothing but silence. You know the pain of planting in dry ground yet still believing that life would one day grow there. I do not need to remind you of the tears you dried in secret, the moments when you almost broke but told no one. Nor do I need you to explain why you began to close doors in your heart, why you pulled back from letting yourself feel. You started building walls around your emotions because you feared one more wound would be too much. Yet those same walls that kept out pain also shut out comfort. Without meaning to, you let fear lead you, fear of trusting again, fear of holding on to joy only for it to slip away, fear of opening your arms just to be left empty. That tightness in your chest, that constant worry, is not who you truly are. It is the weight of what you never released. That is why I speak now with such urgency, because what I want to do in you is not surface level. It is real and lasting. I need you to let me into the place no one else can reach. I know the battles you have faced, the rejection you never voiced but still carried, the kind that made you feel unseen. That betrayal that still lingers in your thoughts, even though you tell yourself it is over. Those voices that shape how you see yourself more than you wish they had. I know the very moment you started believing you were not enough. And I know how what you face now feels like the same old story, like no matter how much effort you put in, you always find yourself in that same place of weariness, disappointment, loneliness, and emptiness. But this is not a cycle repeating itself. This is the turning point. This is the place where the story shifts. Not because you handled everything perfectly, but because you are letting me in, even if only a little, so I can truly move. Today I come not to accuse you, but to embrace you, with eyes of love, with a heart full of tenderness for you. I do not arrive to highlight where you failed. I come to remind you that you were never made to live only surviving. You were not made to get used to constant pain. You were not made to move forward always afraid of losing it all. You were formed with meaning, with care, with promise. And if up to now it has felt like a long endless wait, it is only because what I am bringing will be greater than you ever imagined. I am not offering you just enough to get by, but a life of fullness. All the pieces you did not understand, all the paths that did not unfold as you hoped, all the questions left unanswered will be used for good. I do not waste pain. I do not lose what you go through. I do not forget your prayers. Even the quietest sigh was heard. Even the thought you never spoke was written down. I do not leave you halfway through the process. I am opening doors no one else could open. I am healing wounds no one else could reach. It is time to let go of what is beyond you and allow me to take over fully. You do not need to keep pushing yourself until you break. Just breathe. Trust that I am here. There are things that made no sense then, and others you cannot explain even now. Situations tied up like knots too hard to undo, seasons where the ground gave way under your feet, and you wondered again and again if you would ever feel safe once more. They were not only hard days. They were seasons, when confusion pressed on you so heavily that even what once gave you strength no longer seemed to hold. You wondered what happened to the promises, why painful cycles seemed to return again and again, why the answer you had prayed for with tears did not come. These questions lived in your mind while you kept doing what you could, even though inside something was slowly wearing away. I know this. Not because anyone told me, but because I was there. I was not just watching, I was feeling with you, carrying what others could not see. I have been close since the first day, even when you felt everything inside you had gone dry. There were nights when you lay down with emptiness that even sleep could not lift. There were mornings when rising from bed felt heavy, not from lack of gratitude, but from lack of strength. You did not want to quit, yet you did not know how to keep going either. Between hard choices, repeated disappointments, and hopes that never seemed to unfold, you began to wonder if you still had direction, if there was still a plan, or if you were only moving by habit. But none of it was wasted. No season, however dark, was empty time. I was working more deeply than you can see. Some processes do not show results right away because they are being built at a hidden level, in places no eye can reach. When nothing blooms on the surface, it does not mean growth is absent. In the middle of your breaking, the root of your spiritual, emotional, and even physical life was being strengthened. You did not see it, but stability was being formed where there was weakness. Clarity was being created where once there was innocence. And what seemed like failure was truly silent preparation to hold what is now starting to rise. Those doors that never opened were not punishment, they were protection. Some connections ended without you knowing the reason, but they were part of the clearing needed for the new things that are about to arrive. Certain chances looked good on the surface, but if you had taken them, they would have slowed your growth. I stopped you from walking down some roads, not because you did not deserve them, but because you are worthy of something greater than what you would have settled for in your weariness. What you cannot yet see, you will one day understand as mercy, because everything I do, even what I allow, fits into an eternal plan, not a passing one. Your perseverance was never overlooked. I know there were times you felt lost, as if you were moving without a map, when in truth you were being led quietly, not by clear signs outside, but by a quiet direction I placed inside you. Even while doubting, you kept moving. Through your tears and fears, you did not give up. That kind of strength carries a weight far beyond what people can measure. It sets things in motion in the unseen world that you cannot yet notice. What you thought was stopping was really a repositioning, and now the shift begins. Not a noisy one, not one that seeks to impress, but a change that starts deep inside. First will come the clear mind you have been longing for. Thoughts will begin to align. What once felt like endless confusion will start to make sense. The broken pieces of your heart will find their place again, and with that order will come peace. Not a peace that shakes with outside events, but a lasting peace born from knowing you are not being tossed by chance, but led with purpose. The renewal I am bringing is not shallow, not limited to what others can see. It is a true awakening. You will remember the identity you had forgotten. You will see your own reflection with fresh eyes. You will recover the authority you gave away in the middle of pain. Not because you earn it through effort, but because it belongs to you by design. You have not yet seen the full picture of what I placed inside you. You have not yet walked in the complete measure of what you carried quietly for so long. It is coming without you having to force doors open, without you having to control every step. You are not late. You are not behind. You are right on time, in the very moment when my voice turns into action. The season of silence has ended. Now is the season of fulfillment. You will not return to the old starting line. You will not repeat the same circles. Everything you faced has been preparing the soil for what is new. But his coming is not just a repair of what once was. It is a new beginning built not on past scars, but on eternal promises. Restoration will not be a patch on old walls. It will be a rebuilding with stronger foundations, with clearer vision, with greater strength. Have you asked yourself why certain things stopped right when they seemed so close? Why doors that looked ready to open suddenly shut? It was never punishment, and it was never neglect. It was my loving restraint. I closed them because they would have given you less than you were meant to hold. I closed them because they would have hurried a process that was not ready. I closed them because even if they looked good, they would have pulled you away from the purpose set for you before you were even born. I have been keeping you safe even when you thought I was denying you something. I never took what you loved to harm you. I removed what would have blocked you from receiving what you truly need. The waiting was not wasted. It was the hidden ground where something greater was being built inside you, something even you do not yet fully see. A strength that cannot be measured by surface signs, a depth that cannot be judged by titles or outward success, but by the maturity shaped in secret. You think I did not notice. Every time you chose to do what was right when no one was watching, I saw it. Every thought you surrendered to me in the middle of your hidden struggles, every quiet step of obedience that seemed unnoticed, I kept it all, not as a formality, but because in my kingdom nothing born from a true heart is ever small. There are times when change grows so silently that even you doubt it is happening, yet what happens inside always comes before what can be seen outside. The soil only produces fruit after it has been broken. The same is true for you. Those cracks within were never defeat. They were signs that new life was about to rise. The breaking was not your end, it was the ground being prepared. Through those fractures, promises began to take root that could not have grown in any other way. I shaped you in the fire, not to destroy you but to cleanse and strengthen what was already precious. I know you have felt like someone who poured out more than you received. You gave understanding when you were barely understood. You held others close while you longed for someone to hold you. You celebrated victories for others while quietly gathering the broken pieces of your own heart. And even though no one said it, many times you were the pillar that kept others from falling without them realizing it. I did not overlook it. I never counted it as small. Every hidden sacrifice of yours was an act of heaven, and heaven never forgets those who love without expecting anything back. Do not look for justice in places that cannot see eternity. Do not seek worth in spaces that never knew how to value you. Those who failed to see your true essence have no power to write your future. My word over you does not change with seasons, and my view of you does not bend to human opinions. I do not change my mind, nor do I take back the gifts I placed inside you. Everything I planted in you is still alive, untouched, waiting for the right time to show. You thought you were carrying little, but in truth, you carry what is eternal. And now is the moment to bring into the light what you once kept hidden. Not from fear, but from honor, you chose to keep the truest part of yourself hidden so it would not be exposed in places that could not value or understand it, and that was wisdom. But now the season of hiding is over, for I am not speaking of fame but of purpose-filled visibility. There will be times when I open doors you never searched for and take you to places you never asked to go, not so you may be admired, but so that what I planted in you may reach those who need it most. For your story will not stay silent. The path you walked will speak to others who stand where you once stood, and then you will see that none of it was wasted. Today I called your name, not in a whisper, not in soft tones, not wrapped in symbols, but with the full strength of my love for you. In the quiet of your home where you believe no one notices, where you act strong though inside you are breaking, I cried out as your soul was shattering into pieces no one could see. While you tried to stay steady, while you smiled so others would not worry, while inside you were nothing but a silent scream.